Hello, 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 everybody. Hello and welcome. It is Funful Friday here in the craft room with Caron. I am Caron Bailey, your ATX Stampin' Lady, and y'all, tonight we are working on our first live stream video for 2025. Woo-hoo! You guys, Fridays are Funful Fridays, except the last Friday of the month where we will do Paper Pumpkin. So I'm glad you're able to join me tonight. Lots to share. It's going to be a lot of coloring. So we're going to get started because it is a lot. But before we do that, I've got to share with you um, these hot little things in my hands. I can't share with you the inside of them. It's against Stampin' Up rules. But for my VIP customers, you should have received or should be receiving, because one of my customers told me they received it already. So you should have received or should be receiving the January through April mini catalog with the celebration catalog. You guys, did a blog post today that shares with you a little bit of everything that we've got coming up. All of these catalogs, the new online exclusive items, the the scrapbook catalog, all of that is going live on January 7th. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love for you to join to be your demonstrator and join the fun. If you are even remotely thinking about joining Stampin' Up!, I would love for you to consider joining my team, the Sweet Signature Stampin' Creation teams, and I would love for you to be a part of our group. I am going to be using some products from the mini catalog today. For the new catalog, I can't tell you. I can share with you the page, but I can't share with you the inside of the catalog. But I'm not casing anything. I am creating this fun fold. If there's anything that you see that I am creating this evening that you would love to buy, I would love for you to use the host code. I don't know why this seems crooked to me, but it is crooked, I think, in my brain. The host code for the month is WQBAPXHR. Okay? If you shop in my online store and you spend $149 or less, when you use this host code in my store, for any purchase amount, you will get a free gift from me just for participating. For if you spend $50 a month, $50 or more, you get a free gift for shopping. Spend any amount in my store and you get an entry into the monthly drawing. Speaking of which, I've got to do the monthly drawing for January. So let's get started. So let me share with you some of the products that we're going to be using tonight. And I tried to do pre-stamp and heat emboss some of the items, so because we're doing a lot of coloring and fussy cutting, because the products that I'm using do not have coordinating dies. So we are using Lifelong Friends. I love this one. This was one of the first ones that I saw in the catalog, and I just absolutely had to have it for a multitude of reasons. I love this font. I love the script. I couldn't have picked a better friend. So happy to have you in my life. Here's to lifelong friends. Thinking of you, friend. And look at these. I think these are so perfect. So I couldn't resist this catalog. I mean, this stamp set, and I had to have it. There is no coordinating die, so we will have to fussy cut this product. If you are joining me, if you can hear me, just give me a little thumbs up. Let me know that, no, there's no thumbs up on Facebook, but let me know that you can hear me. This is on page 61 of the January through April mini catalog. The other product that we're going to use is One More Year. I love this. I had a pug, and this dog reminds me of a pug, and so I could not resist it. Besides that, I'm always looking for birthday stamps. Happy birthday, now back to me. Happy birthday, another wrinkle wiser. You're how old? In dog years you'd be. At least you're not as old as you'll be next year. Aging fine like cheese and wine. Okay? I mean, come on now. Again, no dies. This is on page 59 of the catalog. So we will be fussy cutting the images. I also used, this is in the annual catalog, the Spotlight in Nature bundle. I'm using it primarily for the dies, which I already pre-die cut the circles that I'm going to use. And the circle, let me share with you which one, just in case you have this set. So the circle I'm using is the, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth largest die in the set, okay? Or the second largest die in the set. Either one, however you choose to count it, that is the die that I'm going to be using. So if we are ready, let's get started. How did y'all ring in the new year? Y'all, I didn't do a darn thing. I think I was in bed by 10 o'clock, 10:30. I was in bed, okay? There were let me share, some other things that I'm going to be using. This is a new paper pack, Timeless Plaid, DSP, Designer Series paper. It's called Timeless Plaid. It is a 6x6 pad. I've already separated some of the cards, the paper out of it, so which is why you have. I'll be using one of these today. We'll be doing a new catalog launch. The catalog goes live on the 7th. I'm not going to do it on the 7th, primarily because everybody will be doing one. And so I will probably do a catalog launch on the Saturday of the launch. I'm not sure what day that is. Well, tomorrow is the 4th, so it'll be the 11th. Okay? I'm surprised I didn't change these over, because I always try to do front and back. So here we go, front and back. I love these colors, and I'll share with you the colors that are in this pattern. I've used this one, I believe. This is one of my favorite colorways in here. I find these plaids are kind of a little bit more on the, I'm going to say masculine side, but of course, I'm going to show you that even though it's quote unquote masculine, you can use it anyway. All right. So if you're ever at a loss as to what colors go with what, how to pair them, if you take a look at the back of the paper pack, this right here, this will tell you the colors that you can find in this. They're not all the colors that will match, but they are the colors in this, in the paper, the Designer Series paper. So you can find Basic Beige, Boho Blue, Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pebbled Path, Pecan Pie, and Wild Wheat. Those are the colors that you'll find in this pad. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I know we're here for the fold, but the fold is the easy part. So we're going to just take a moment and we're going to go ahead and color, because this is going to be the longest part of everything. So I'm going to bring out my crumb cake. Maybe not. Yeah, let's go with crumb cake. Let's see. And I'm not going to do a lot of detailed coloring. So for the dog, I'm starting with a little bit of, this is the bronze marker. Of course, you know his tongue we're going to make pink, right? And again, I'm just going in where I think there should be a little bit of highlights. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with my crumb cake, dark crumb cake. And get a little bit of color laid down. Probably should have just done the crumb cake, huh? It's a little bit darker. And just get a little bit of the color down. Okay. I'm going to let that stew for a second. Then I'm going to work on my cake. Excuse me. Um, oh, let's get the tongue done. So I'm going to go in with Pretty in Pink. First tongue. Okay. Let that dry for a second. We're going to work on the next color. We want the cake. Let's see, as far as the cake is concerned, we need an icing color, and I'm going to stay with the Pretty in Pinks because we're going to have a beautiful vanilla icing. Well, not vanilla, strawberry. Hello. We're going to start with our dark Pretty in Pink. And you guys, I'm not an expert on coloring, okay? So please don't, I have fun with it, but I am not an expert. Okay. These are kind of the same colors that's in, oh, it said Flirty Flamingo, so let me grab that. I believe it said that, right? No. Basic beige, Calypso Coral. So I'm going to grab my Calypso Coral colors. Pretty in Pink kind of gets there, don't you think? All right. Not even close. I don't know what color this would be as far as icing is concerned. Maybe a strawberry? I don't know. I had some deliveries today. Um, at work, wait, is this a, yeah, Calypso Coral. So at work, I work for the city of Austin, and we have part of our benefits is we have this program, and they started a challenge, and I committed to doing walking 100 miles in the month of January. Now it's really doable for me. Let that dry a little bit. Let's start over here. We're going to go back in with the light crumb cake. Blend it out just a little bit more. And because I'm using the light crumb cake over it, it's going to seem as if I've got like 3 different shades. Because the first area that dried, it's going to be a little bit lighter than what I'm going over it now. Okay, I want the nose to be a little bit pink. So I'm going to go in with the pink. Although we know dog noses are kind of black generally, I didn't want a black nose. Perfect. All right, so we're done with that. Now I need, man, there was no basic beige as far as, okay. I'm gonna go in with, I think it's Smoky Slate. Yeah, let's find Smoky Slate. And I'm gonna go in with the light. And this is what I'm gonna use to color the cake. I would have loved to have done a basic beige, but hi Evelyn, how are you? Happy New Year. How did you ring in the new year? Okay. That's one cake. Let that dry, and then oh, while I have this out, I'm going to use this to give a hint of color on my glass. All right. Thank you. Then I need my color lifter, if I can find that. I do a lot of standing and sitting when I'm crafting. I don't know about you guys, but I sure do get a little bit of a workout. Ah, there it is. My color lifter. I just want to blend out on the glass. I want to blend that out just a little bit. Perfect. Ah, I wish I could say the same. I really do. But I went back to work. I got back from vacation. When did I get back? I got back on the 22nd, just before Christmas. And I had Monday off, went to my sister's for that Monday. and then I went, had Christmas at my sister's house. Had to go back to work the day after Christmas. So I went to work on the, what's the date? The 26th, because the 26th was not a holiday. Okay, we got that. And then we had, of course, Friday. So what I'm trying to do is have some of the same things that run through each of the images. Okay. All right. Now I need a silvery for our I have all these tools, these glittery type pens, and I'm determined to use them. Let's try this one. It's kind of greenish. There's nothing green. Oh, there's a little bit of green there. Oh, this is more pewtery. But you can see the green in it. So it's a pewtery kind of green. You know, when you buy things, so I'm like, I better use them. They're all like glitter pens. Then this one, I'm going to use this side, like a gold plate. You go back to work on Monday? Yeah. I thank goodness for working remotely. The city where I work, we are blessed to be able to telework. And so yeah, we're blessed to be able to telework. And so I ended up teleworking today, which was a blessing because I had some work done on the house. I had some repair people come to the house. And one of the pilot lights on my stove was out. It wouldn't catch. So I tell you, I try to do things myself. So I tried to, I asked on my my neighborhood Facebook group, and they're like, "Oh, just clean the thing there." I'm like, "Okay." So I went ahead and I cleaned, and it still wouldn't light. And so he came today and he was cleaning it. Man, I cleaned the wrong thing. Otherwise, I could have cleaned that darn thing myself and saved myself, you know, $75. But it was a good thing that he came. And it was good because um, while they were here, um, they replaced the battery in my smoke detectors, all 8 of them. Um, what else did he do? He did something to my door. Um, so it was overall, I mean, it was worth it. And it was a blessing that I was able to have it done, and I didn't have to take any time off work because it was scheduled for one of my telework days. All right, so we've got that done. Now I need to do some cheese. And I'm going to go in with my crushed curry for the cheese. Now again, I'm coloring all of these because this is going to take the longest time. This and the, let's make this cheddar. Well, that's not really cheddar looking, is it? But it is what it is. And then I'm going to, Swiss cheese is white, but that was crushed curry that I used. And now I'm going to use, just to give the outline a hint of color, this is the light lemon lolly. So hopefully it's not as bright, but I'll still be able, yeah. So we all know Swiss cheese is kind of a whitish color, so it'll have to be okay with that. And then I'm going to go in with, let's put some of this stuff away because we're not going to use them anymore. Sorry, I'm trying to be one of those people that I put things away as I use them. Otherwise, like I say all the time, it's going to be such a mess. Such a mess when I try to clean up at the end of the night. All right. I know. I'm trying to develop some really good habits. When I say try to develop, because usually just about when I'm done crafting right now, I'll get up and I will just leave everything the way it is. And so tomorrow morning, it'll be just the biggest mess in the world. Um, so I'm trying to develop those good habits for the new year. Do you have any New Year's? I don't want to call them resolutions because I find that resolutions, most people don't keep them, but I'm trying to build new habits. All right, so I think, what color do I want my grapes? Let me find a quick cherry cobbler-ish, and just do my grapes. They're dark enough. And as you can see, I'm switching between Stampin' Right markers and Stampin' Blends. Okay. Now, even though cherry cobbler is more in the red family, as you can see, it looks more like a Bordeaux-ish kind of color. All right, so we've got these done. And y'all, I know we are working on, what do you call this thing? We're working on, ooh, I forgot what I was saying. Somebody just did something. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly try to fussy cut these guys. And then I'll work on one card, and then we'll work on the next, okay? So with our fun fold, if you saw from the directions, we're going to be able to make 2 cards with one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And so I'm trying to make sure that we have what we need so that by the time we get to the assembly portion, it will be just a matter of assembling and not having to stop to color and so on and so forth. So that's the reason why um, I, I'm trying to get the coloring done before we get to creating the card itself. The card base itself is very easy. The fold part of this is so easy. I'm pretty sure some of you may have done it already. Maybe this year you'll do what? Oh, I keep saying I want to make a ton of different cards. Bend them together and give as gifts. Ooh, okay. I've got a whole bunch of cards. I tend to do that. Um, work in the same color palettes. I try to it's the giving part. It is the giving part. I've donated cards before to the Breast Cancer Research Center of Austin. I think they did. Matter of fact, I have to reach out to them again. So they had a fundraiser of some sort, and they donated. I donated. I think it was like 100 and something cards. I donated to that organization. So I reached out to, and they didn't. I don't recall them calling me back. So I've got to go back and call them again. The Meals on Wheels program. Um, when they visit their sick and shut-ins, um, that they can give them a card or something. The other thing that I'm thinking about doing is I just found out that here in Texas, um, we have a veterans home for seniors or folks that uh, aren't able to take care of themselves anymore. And so I'm going to reach out to them and find out, because I think that'd be great if I sent like a whole bunch of maybe birthday cards to the center, and whenever any one of the residents has a birthday, they can have cards on hand to give for birthdays and not having to buy them. So that's a couple of things on my list to do at the start of the new year's, to reach out to a couple of organizations like that. Being a veteran myself, I would hope that as I get older, that someone out there, even though would think about sending veterans birthday cards. So that's what I'm going to do. And as soon as I get all the information, I would gladly share it. And if anybody wants to donate as well, I'd be more than happy to accept any donations, or at least give you the addresses so that you yourself can make your own donations if that's something that you would want to do. So again, the trick with fussy cutting is, again, making sure, in my case, my non-dominant hand is my left hand. So I use my left hand, non-dominant hand, to change the position of the paper, and I'd leave my scissor exactly where it is and let that be the guide. It seems to work very easily when I'm doing it that way. So that is a tip that I will share. Um, Thank you. All right, so I did a lot of these extras because I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go on my images, and so I just did a couple of them from the stamp set. All right, almost done here. I gotta do a green. I just saw a leaf there. I like to color before I fussy cut. I don't know why, but that's just my preference. Um, some people might prefer differently. I don't know. I just prefer to color my images before I die cut them. So for this fun fold, you are going to need your paper trimmer. So if you grabbed your supplies earlier, because I did put them in the event description, if you did grab your supplies, we are make sure to grab your paper trimmer because we're getting ready to go ahead and use use that in this project. Okay. I'm surprised I didn't use any Wink of Stella on this. I will put Wink of Stella on after. I found lately that when I've been using my Wink of Stella, what happens is because it hasn't dried completely, I end up getting like more than half of the shimmer all over my hands, which transfers to all over the images. All right, so here we go. This part is done. All right, so let's put these aside. I'm not done coloring that label. I don't know what color I want it to be. Let's cut this one too, just in case. Let's cut this one too, just in case. Now, if you have a scan and cut machine, you could have scanned this image into your machine and just had your machine die cut it. I do have a scan and cut machine, but I didn't want to go through all of that. I would have to unpack it. Not only would I have to unpack it, I would have to find where all the other supplies are. So that's another thing I have to do this year, is to organize my craft room so that I can get to what I need when I need it. The fussy cutting is not that hard. Um, it is fairly quick, except if you have a lot of hills and valley type images to cut around. But it is fairly quick and it's fairly easy, and generally it's relaxing. And most cases, depending on how detailed or how you want to be, you don't really have to follow all of the nooks and crannies. You can kind of just do a vague outline of it. Sometimes, depending on what you're cutting out, you might have to cut into all the nooks and crannies, but it all depends. All right, so this is done. All right, so let's get to starting with our cardstock. We're going to color these ladies later because they're going to use on the second card. So what we're going to need for our card is, I'm going to work with Wild Wheat as my card base, and this is my 8.5 by 11. I have 2 pieces of basic white. They are 3 7/8 by 1 5/8. This was just, I cut from a piece of 4 4 1/4 by 5.5, a quarter panel, and then I just die cut the second largest die from the Spotlight in Nature die set dies. Wait, I just saw one somewhere. Where'd it go? Okay, I'm sure I'll find it. So we did need 2 of those. And I'm going to mat. So in the instructions, I told you in measurements if you wanted to mat your card, if you did not want to mat. I'm going to mat my cards. So because I'm going to do that, I have 2 pieces of designer series paper here. Both of them are 6 by 6. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 of them to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And so those, I'm going to need a piece of cardstock to mat them that is 4 by 5 1/4. Right? This is a little bit less than a quarter panel. So I need 2 of those, but I'm going to need 4 pieces that's 4 by 5 1/4. I'm also going to need another piece of designer series paper, 2 of them, that is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I'm going to mat those, and I'm going to need a piece that's 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, that's what I'm working with. I may need to make adjustments, but that's what I'm working with. So let's bring our paper trimmer in, our Stampin' Up! Trimmer, because this, what you're going to need, for me, is, and the beauty of the Stampin' Up! Trimmer is that we have this extra area on the right-hand side. You guys, that alone makes the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, in my opinion, one of the best trimmers in the market. Now, I generally, and I do prefer guillotine trimmer or rotary trimmers, but when I have to do certain types of cutting, the Stampin' Up! Trimmer cannot be beat. Okay, so let's get to cutting our card base. So the first thing we're going to need to do with this piece of card base, whatever color you want your project to be, let's move our cutting blade out of the way because we don't need that just yet. We're going to score in half on the 8.5 side and on the 11-inch side. Okay, so 4 1/4 is half of 8.5. Okay, my friend Michelle always asks me why I use the other, because I use the Stampin' Up! Trimmers, the scoring blade, but I actually prefer to use styli. I don't know what's the plural of it, but a stylus to make my scores. And then we're gonna flip it and go 5.5. Okay. Let me share with you a tip, right? In case you're using the bottom, this line right here on the ruler height, the swing out arm, that's your 5.5. So I think it's the perfect tool for guiding if you're having trouble identifying where your 5.5 is. Okay. All right, so now that we've done that, right? So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to put these points in the track. And we want to make sure that they are in the track because we are going to cut. We're going to need a scoring blade here. Okay. And what's going to be most important is to try to make sure, and if you have point to point in the track, then it would stand to reason that this point is also going to be in the track. Okay. And the important thing is to get the cut right in the center. Okay. Oops, I just shifted all of that. All right, I think I'm good. Now again, when I'm cutting, I try not to start off the cardstock. I will pick a point in the middle and work up and then down. Okay. Gonna shift this up. I'm off just a little bit. Okay. And so what we're gonna end up having to do is take our snips, our scissors, or what I like to do as well is making sure this is back in the track, and track is going with one of my, what do you call this thing? X-Acto knives, keeping it in the track, and finish the clean cut. Okay. All right. Perfect. And so guys, we've got our 2 card bases right here. Okay. So we're going to score away from our valleys. Okay. Make sure we have some good folds. And do the same on that side. Burnish our score lines. And there we have that. Okay. So our card can open this way, so that that opens this way. And then you can have one do one way and one do the other. Or you can adjust them so that it opens both ways. It's your call. But I also do try to burnish on both sides. That way it folds flatter a little bit easier. Okay. See? Perfect. Then you do the other one. And I always double burnish, okay? You don't have to do that. That's just a preference of mine in terms of what I'm doing with my card, so that it absolutely lays as flat as I can possibly get it. Okay? So there you go. Now, the thing is, you have to remember the way in which you cut your designer series paper. Okay? Because if you cut left to right, but you didn't cut your panel left to right, you might not get your sides to lay where you want them to. Now, these are non-directional patterns, so it really won't make that much of a difference. But it would make a bit of a difference if, correct, if you had, oops, nope, that's not what I want to do. This needs to be this needs to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Same with this, 3 7/8. Oh crap. I think I just went 3 inches. Ugh, did I mess that up? I messed that up. I did not pay as close attention to my cut. It's 3 7/8. Let's go with this one. I'm changing it up a bit. Now there's absolutely nothing with boho blue in my coloring, so I'm going to have to make some adjustments, okay? So it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay. All right. So now we are going to put our, I think this is how we did it. Put our panels, again, tip to tip in the track, cutting track. cut. We have our two pieces like that. And then we're going to do the same thing, tip to tip. And the track. Oh boy. I don't know how that came out of the track, but it did. Let's make sure we're in there. And then we're going to do the same thing to the matte layer for each of them. So we're going to grab two of the mattes. Can you cut them at the same time? Sure. But I'm not going to take any chances. I'm just going to cut them individually. Okay. That came out of the track just a little bit. Perfect. There we go. All right. So we're done with that for now. Let's put this out of the way and let's work on our first card. All right. Now the reason we cut them and I didn't put them on um, I didn't put the layer the panels and then cut them diagonal is I wanted a border all the way around. And the only way you can get that border all the way around is if you cut them separately and then attach them. Because if you attach them beforehand and you cut them on the diagonal, it'll be like a clean cut on both of them. So you won't really have a border. You'll have a border on three sides, but not two sides, but not on the third in this particular case. All right, so let's go ahead and get these added on. And I'm going to use liquid adhesive because, of course, for me, um, liquid adhesive helps me with my inability to do anything straight. So I have to, liquid glue is really not much of a choice for me. It is really a must-have in my crafting. I still don't always get it right, but at least it's a little bit better than, yeah, it's a lot better than if I did it, if I did not, if I just tried to do it with regular tape. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and add a little burnish that piece a little bit. That's going to go there. This is going to go here. And I'm going to try to do both panels at the same time, even though we haven't colored the girls. But if we can get that part done, it'll be easy to assemble that second card. Perfect. Okay. Now, the matte layer on this is completely optional. You do not have to add a matte layer. I just like to, my personal preference when I'm card making is I do like to matte, if possible, whenever possible. And then we're going to add this guy. Lay this down. Make sure my border is relatively even all the way around. And that's done. Okay. So as we can see, I'm burnishing is making sure the glue is on. And then I'm going to do these two as well. Okay. You guys, just like that, our triangle fold is pretty much done. Now at this point, it is just to decorate your card. However you're going to decorate it, you can get really involved in how you decorate it. You can go a lot, you can go a little. It all depends on you. Okay? Your aesthetic, what you like and what you don't like. So do you guys have any stamping goals for the year? Uh, I I had just started a new job in October, so I really didn't have a lot of time in my craft room towards the end of the year. So my goal this year is to spend a lot of quality time in my craft room. Um, Really what happens is that I only have Saturday and Sunday generally um, to play in my craft room, but generally Saturday and Sundays is, you know, the time needed to get things done, to hang out with your friends and family because they're off too. And so um, really last year was just like I'm not doing anything but being in my craft room because I only have those 2 days to do it. And so I missed out on a lot of opportunities to hang out with my friends and my family. And so I think I'm trying to carve out a lot of time, well, maybe not a lot, some time during the week um, to come play in the craft room. Now don't forget to share my page with your friends and family, anyone that might be interested in crafting. I would love the opportunity to grow my Facebook page and my Facebook audience. So if you know of anyone that would love to stamp, would learn how to stamp, please invite them. If you are watching this video on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The more people that follow my channels makes it easier for other people to find it because the more followers that I have, the more likes. Of course, you know about Facebook algorithms and not Facebook, YouTube algorithms and where you fall in the feed and things of that nature. All right, so I just took a piece that was 4 by 5 1/4. I took the basic white piece that was 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. This is for the inside of your card, and we're just going to adhere that to our card. Um, and which one is this one? I'm probably going to cut this in half and put that in here. I should have done that first. Or you can keep it the size that it is. It's okay. And then let's use this side so you can see what the other side of that paper looks like. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we can go ahead and build our focal image. Okay. Now because I used all of the masculine, quote unquote, masculine colors in this one, this is the one I'm going to use with the dogs. Okay. So now what I want to do is I'm just going to turn this over. So when I color my girls, somebody's going to have boho blue in them. Yes, have to. Have to, have to, have to. Okay. Awesome. All right, so what we're going to do is now we're going to build our card. Now, where's my little pin here? I'm going to grab, I think this is Calypso Coral. Where's my stamp set? So I'm going to grab my Calypso Coral. There's this little stamp right there. And I'm going to give just a little touch of something to my card. I'm all about breaking up my white space, okay? So I'm just going to randomly stamp this image all over this white card. And I do mean random. And for me, when I do random, I turn my paper. I don't necessarily turn the stamp set or the image that's in my hand. I do turn the Now you don't really have to do the center because obviously we're going to cover this center with the images, but I'm just going to go ahead and stamp and get that done. Okay, perfect. So now that we did that, we're just going to go ahead and layer. Which one do I like with that? So I think I like this one. But if I want to keep it, oh, I think I'm going to go with that one. So I'm going to go with this and this. But I need my sentiment. Let's see. I like the at least you're not as old as you'll be next year. There it is. No, that's not it. Here it is. At least you're not as old as you'll be next year. Okay, let's grab this. Well, before I put this away, because I am getting ready to put it away, let's just bring out the boho blue and get that cleaned off. And then I can put that stamp set away completely. All right, let me grab a drink because my throat is going a little dry. Then I'm going to grab the boho blue. Oh, I'm not going to use this one. I think there's flowers in the other one. So I'm not going to do that. All right. All righty. Anybody watch the movie Wicked? I went with some girlfriends of mine on New Year's Day, and I tell you, I really loved the movie. um, I've not seen the the Wicked. I've seen Oz, Wizard of Oz, and the many variations of Oz, and so I was a little shocked. um, there were some revelations, I think, and I don't know that everybody, if you've watched it, it was just shocking to me that, you all thought was the Wicked Witch, and I think the lesson in the movie is that, the, gossip or rumors can really, really hurt, and they can really, really destroy. So, just to be very careful of stuff like that. And there's also one other little secret in there too. So I'm not going to divulge the secret. I'm not. So I'm going to let y'all watch it. And if you watch it and would like to have a discussion, we can. We can. All right, I have a little bit of a spot there, so I'm going to make sure that I don't have any embossing powder there. While I'm here, I need to take a minute to say happy birthday to my sister-in-law. Yes, today is her birthday today. I won't tell you how old she is now. Come on. You know, I won't tell you how old she is. I might need this again. All right, so let's just get our sentiment cut apart here. I think I want about, because I do want to flag my banner. That's not enough for flagging, so I'll end up flagging maybe one side. I'm not sure. So this is going to be about 2 7/8 by 1 inch is what we have cut out. And then I am going to flag my banner. Now there's multiple ways that you can flag your banner or flag your sentiment, right? So what I'm going to do is you can fold it, which is kind of what I do. Fold it in half, because if you fold it in half, you're kind of guaranteed for it to be straight, right? So I kind of bend it and fold it in half, and then I pick any point and I just snip from that point to the corner. And there you go. Okay. Do the same on the other end. Oh, you don't really have to do that, right? So what you can also do, how do you do this? Although it is easier, you could kind of just put this on here and then trim. But I like my corner to corner. You also have the option, if you think you know where your middle point is, which you can get the middle point, you cut a snip up the middle, and then you corner to corner. But I think in this instance, I would prefer to do that way, and then do that way. And there you have it. Okay. Last but not least, I'm going to grab a marker. Oh, this is dry. Okay. Guess that means you're going in the trash, right? And what I'm gonna do is, let me try this one. I think that one might work better. And I'm gonna need a little bit of I'm gonna need a straight edge of some sort, right? And all I want to do with the straight edge is, okay, making sure that this is lined up. And again, I only need the straight edge because I can't do anything in a straight line. So I'm going to make sure that I have a relatively, see, I just messed that up again. All right, make sure I have a relatively straight line. Add our straight edge, making sure that looks relatively straight and even. And then I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a border. if you can freehand it, just go ahead and freehand it. I can't, so I use the tools in my arsenal. Okay. Just be very careful to make sure you don't have any excess of the ink on there. That might run on your cardstock. Okay. Perfect. So I don't need to cut a matte layer for my sentiment. I've just given it a matte just by doing that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add our pieces and array them however we think we're going to array them. Oh, I think I was supposed to be doing this one, huh? Right? So that's what we're going to do here. Now, let's grab some dimensionals or some foam tape, whichever you have, whichever you're going to use. Mine seem to have disappeared again. All right. Let's grab some of these. Now, because this is circular, it really doesn't matter. I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, let's just make sure that let's make sure that part is done. Yeah. Okay. And then we're going to add our cake up here. So we're going to need dimensionals up there. And adhesive right here. Because what we are going to do then is take this off and put this right here like so. Okay. Oops. All right. And then last, we're going to add our puppy. And he's going to be about like so. Don't want to cut off the year. So we're going to make sure our dimensionals are on the outside. Maybe two of them there. All right. So we're going to put him here like so. So we'll need a little bit of adhesive there, there, and there. So just on the tips. Here, here, and here. Okay. And so here's what we do. We're going to put him here, here, and he's adhered. Perfect. All right. Last thing we're going to do now is we're going to get ready to add our focal image to our card. Yes. And so we want this to be, oops. Now, we have to be very careful, right? Because our card opens. And so we only want, if you want the card to open with this, then you only add adhesive on this side. Now, because I have this exposed dimensionals, I have to put my card, I have to put my focal on the other side. Okay. Making sure. And I know we're definitely gonna have some right there. And so here we go. Sometimes it's way easier to have your adhesive to where you know it will be instead of guessing and then not have it be in the right place. Okay? So guys, card number 1 from our fold is complete. We just need to do our envelope. Okay? So let me just go ahead and put a little wink of Stella on his tongue. Give him a little sparkle in the eyeball. A little sparkle on the cake. And on the candles. Okay? We'll add some gems, I believe. Maybe not too many. But this is the card, you guys. Our first card is complete. So we're going to kind of do the same thing on the next. All right, so let's get this colored. I wonder where my eraser is. I need my ink eraser. I don't really use that very often, but I do need it. I made a little bit of a boo-boo. So I do need to fix it. If I can find that eraser. Which of course I can't. Par for my course. I just saw it too the other day. That's how things work in my life. Does that work? Does that work the same way for you? All right, so let's get to coloring these ladies very quickly, um, so we can move forward and finish up our last card. All right. There's boho blue in the card, so we're going to color with boho blue. Um, So let's do, which one is this one? This is light. So we're going to go on with our light boho blue. her skirt is going to be boho blue. Again, when I color, I like to show some of the consistencies across what I'm coloring, right? And so we're going to make this guy boho blue as well. Okay, I'm going with the dark boho blue. And again, I add the dark color for where I think there should be some sort of shade or highlighting in the project or in the piece. Sorry about that, guys. As I'm mostly when I'm coloring, I don't speak just because I need to make sure that I get it right. And it appears to be one of those areas that I just speaking and trying to color at the same time is just not something that I do very well. So you'll see that I use the same colors, boho, the light and dark, and because of how I'm coloring, it will seem, you'll see where it has slight of the three tones. You'll see three tones in there. It'll be a mid-tone as well, and that's just because we once we let the second layer, light layer, dry, once you go over it again, it's also a different shade. All right, so let's get the bottoms. We got in the paper pack. I think there's Cajun Craze, and so we're gonna grab some Cajun Craze. Not everybody's gonna have Cajun Craze though. So again, I'm gonna start with my dark color. She's gonna have Cajun Craze top. That's the hand right there. That's another hand right there. That's her hair. Uh-huh. Perfect. Then we're gonna go in with the light. And again, I'm just playing with the colors primarily because those are the color that's in the paper. Boho blue. And I'm going to bring in Flirty Flamingo or Calypso Coral because that's another color that's in there. Okay. Go in with our dark. Okay. And then Gonna blend it out. There we go. Let those dry, and then I'll go back one more time over that. In the meantime, let's get hair done. Let's see what we're going to do for hair. Well, I put all of them away. Okay, not a problem. Let's grab some of our nudes and neutrals and so on and so forth. You don't have to color everything. No. So I went in with I'm going to go in with 600 and my 1000. 1000 is my lightest color. Where's her hand? So there's her hand. So she's going to have this color skin. And then here's her other hand. Then let that dry. We'll go back. This is 600. How dark is 600? Well, that's not too bad. And before I forget it, she's got a little bit of neck hanging out here and her ear. Then we're going to go with 600. I'm going to make this young lady our 600 lady. I'm not good at coloring hair, so I think I'm going to leave the hair. Okay. And then, I need a mid-tone for her. And then, what mid-tone? I went 1000 and I went 6000. Let's go 8. I know. But I wanted to give the illusion of different skin tones and all kinds of friends. We're friends. So I am going to leave them these particular colors. Okay. Now, in this one, where are my other two pieces? One, two, this is 3 inches. 3 inches by 4 1/4. So we need to trim this down. So if we went to 2 7/8, that means we would need to get this down to 2 3/4. Okay, or smaller. So it's 2 3/4. Take a little bit off of that side. So I'm ending up at 2 1/2, 2 5/8. And so this is 3 7/8. So this needs to be so it's 3 1/4 will be right there. Okay. Whoops. I don't think we're going to use that piece, but we are definitely going to use this. Right? All right, so I'm going to, do I have, oh, I put that on the inside already. Let's trim a small piece, maybe about a 1/2 inch. It's probably going to be too much, but let's cut a 1/2 inch anyway. Okay. And what I want to do with this 1/2 inch is I'm just going to place this here. And this is all I want to do is put that right there. Okay. Trim it off. And then do the same thing on this side. Oops. Or we can do the same thing on this side. I just made this up, you guys. Yeah. And so we're just going to put this right here, and the most important part of this is to get the tip covered. Like that. Put a little pressure on there. Let it dry for a little bit, and then we'll snip it off. If you are in the Austin area and you're looking for a great group of folks to get a little crafty time in together, feel free to join us at the Ruiz Library on the 18th of January, 12:45 until 4:45, and we'll have a little crafty time. Okay, now that is simply an opportunity for us to get together and stamp. It's not a class. It's not an event. Bring your UFO, your unfinished projects or UFPs, and just an opportunity for you to work on them. Yes. Okay, let's get this layered on, and then we will be ready to assemble our next card. It's going to be a birthday sentiment. Oh, almost done. I didn't really do a lot of, because I have the grid paper because I thought it would block a lot of the lights from above, but it's not long enough, so either capture that one or I capture that one. So I just can't win. Okay, let's trim this off. As much as I love dimensionals, you guys, when I'm using it as a layered area, again, because I have a challenge with keeping things straight. It's one of the most frustrating things for me because I know it's not straight now. I know that. I do. And again, so now I have the opportunity on this side. I like it like this. I'm going to add it right here. Same to the other. And adhere it like so. There we go. All right, last thing is we're going to get our sentiment stamped out, and we will be finished with our 2 cards for the evening. What do you think of the card so far? I love it. It's a very quick and easy card to make. No, it didn't seem quick and easy, but it is generally quick and easy. When I'm designing on the fly, you guys, um, it just takes a little bit longer. So, all right, let's put things away here. Got this guy away. Sentiments put away. hmm And there you have it. Probably not going to put gems on the card with the dog. I want to keep that one a little bit more masculine than the other. But I am probably going to put some gems on this one just as soon as I stamp my sentiment. Here's to lifelong friends. So happy to have you in my life. I think I'm going with that one. I think that's this one. Yep, so happy to have you in my life. And what I'm going to end up doing with this one, and that just happened, that just came into my brain right there. Um, okay. Oops, not that. Not that one. Here we go. And I'm going to heat emboss this, and I'm probably going to do a triple heat emboss because I really want it to have texture and I really want it to pop from the background. I'm glad you like it, Evelyn. All right. we are finished with this. I'm going to put that away. We're done with this. And now and we are almost done with our 2 cards for the evening. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the triangle fun fold, and I hope you will give it a try. If you do give it a try, please come back to the link in this event and post your card for me. I would love to see what you have created and share it with us. There we go. Boom. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to put this guy right over there. Evelyn, thanks for interacting with me. If you would like to, just go ahead and pop on over into my DMs and leave an address. One of these cards will be yours just for interacting and participating with me. If you are watching on YouTube and you interact with the video, leave me a comment, like, share, or subscribe. You too will be entered into the drawing to win one of the other card that I don't send to Evelyn. So interacting with me is a sure way to receive prizes in this forum. All right, where is my Winkastella? Because you know I have to add some bling. Everybody's hair is going to be sparkling. Okay. Guys, card number 2 is done. Let me just clear this away a little bit, and then I will share with you what we have created this evening, okay? All right. So here we are with our cards that we created this evening with the triangle fold, using 2 stamp sets that you'll find in the January through April mini catalog. You guys, when you purchase, with Celebration starts as well in January on the 7th, and Celebration this year is when you purchase for every $60 of product that you purchase, you will get a free item from the Celebration catalog. Again, I can't share with you what's inside of the catalog, but it's any item that you purchase. It's not just the uh, any one of the Celebration January to April catalog. If you make a purchase from the online exclusives, the scrapbook catalog, the new January through April, for every $60 you purchase, and that's every $60. So if you spend $120, that means you can, oh, I'm sorry, wasn't supposed to show you the inside. If you spend $120, that means you get to select two of the $60 items into your cart, or one of the $120 products. So, and that will be January 7th through February 28th. This is only for a little bit more than a month, a little less, yeah, a little bit more than a month. Okay. Again, these are the two cards that we created. I hope you enjoy them. Evelyn, do you have a preference for which one you would like to receive? For sitting and entertaining me and watching the video this evening, you let me know. When you reply with your address, and I'll go ahead and pop that in the mail for you. You guys, thanks for joining me this evening. I am Caron Bailey, the ATX Stampin' Lady with Sweet Signatures Stamping Creations. And you guys have a wonderful evening and the rest of the weekend. Happy stamping!